Palawan. Home to over 550,000 people. 7 indigenous people groups. And the birthplace of the TrailBlade.
So I think the adventure that drew me to the Philippines in the first place was something that just got bigger, grew. I love the feeling of being small and insignificant compared to the majesty of nature. And to this day, there's something, I don't do it enough, but there's something I just love about being out, lost in the middle of nowhere. And my job isn't to dominate, but to simply survive.
3 of us set out on an adventure, seeking to learn from the culture and history of the Palawano people. Our journey was long and tiring, but the sense of excitement and wonder kept us going.
So in total, how long was the trip from Newmarket, Virginia, home place of the Palawan Blade company, to Kemantian, its birthplace?
In total, it was something around 4.5 days to 5 days from Newmarket just to Kemantian. And that was because of holdups and all sorts of things.
So from Newmarket to Kemantian is kind of it's a long time. We used to talk when I was a kid in the Philippines, we talked, well, I wonder, if you planned it all out, how quickly could you go from small town America to rugged jungle valley Kemantian? We didn't do it fast. The 18-hour layover in Japan certainly wasn't a help, but we weren't in a hurry either. It was, 4 or 5 days, I don't remember, to get there.
After 14 hours in the air, we powered through an 18-hour layover in Tokyo, Japan. When we got there, we quickly found out that we would not be resting comfortably.
The downside of spending so much time in Japan was simply exhaustion. After sitting on an airplane for 12 or 14 hours, whatever it was, I was looking forward to crashing in a hotel room for at least half that time and being somewhat rested before we jumped on the flight to Manila.
We got to sleep on the floor, and it was just a huge airport without very many people in it, so we could just explore everywhere. But if I had to choose a downside, it would probably have to be not being able to find good types of food to eat.
After only a few hours of sleep and no familiar food, we began the next leg of our journey.
We had another 5 or 6 hour flight to Manila. And then once we got to Manila, we had to transfer from the international terminal that we were at to the domestic terminal, and that we were literally just going through the city. But that alone took, I want to say, like 30 minutes, which doesn't really make much of a difference, but we were probably in Manila for, I want to say, 2 hours. Maybe a little less. And then we got on a plane from there to Puerto Princesa, and that was an hour-long flight. So that's just traveling to Palawan.
We stopped in Puerto Princesa, the capital of the island, for a day or so, and then we were down in Brooks Point in the lowlands near Kemantian for a day or so, and then we hiked in.
Nasaan ang bukid ng American? Doon. Salamat. I actually knew exactly where to go. I just wanted to show you that I'm not a typical dude.
Sure.
All right, shoot from over here. It's been 2.5 years that we've been working on the TrailBlade machete, and we finally actually completed it, and it is now available for sale. We plan to put together a nice little promo video showing it and also explaining this trip that we've actually begun already. We planned it before we left, but we didn't have time to actually execute. We're just here for the adventure of it, to learn as much as we can and see what happens. One of the things that you can depend on in Palawan is that nothing is dependable. So you make sure that you have very flexible plans. We do, but we're hoping tomorrow we'll be headed into these mountains, a long 3-hour hike, and we'll do as much filming as we can, and hopefully everybody can experience a little piece of that with us. You want to try one more? How's the picture looking? Getting pretty dark?
We're going to the trailhead to go to Kemantian. I'm excited.
All right.
The pig squealing in the Karikutan, the jungle. I hope they're not killing it. I think there's a hut over there. It's okay.
This is not the original trailhead that I used to use. So we're gonna hike up to Piatti.
Let's put the fuzzy nut on this camera.
Okay. And switch the wireless to that one.
We don't have, like, the actors in this amazing adventure are also the videographers. So I want to try something for, like, if we want to get all of us in a shot, instead of trying to all, like, pose all, which we might do all pretty. Like, we have multiple cameras and we can just, like, aim them at each other and you just, like, have cut to different scenes. I don't know.
Ow.
1, 2, 3. Nope, that's wrong. Oh, there it is.
Ah.
All right, we are in cinema mode. All right, guys. Are we ready to hit what's that place up there called?
Kemantian.
Kemantian.
I'm ready to hike up there, not hit it.
Up by. I mean, this is it. Who knows how many times it's moved, but right now it's back here, which is kind of cool.
Nice. This is sprouting big leaf. This one's even bigger.
Along this section here, I'm running, and I see this big old log about, I don't know, yay big around, Palawanos would say, Quantin daklat, this size. They always use a part of their body to reference how big snakes are. I just blew my story. Anyway, I thought I jumped over this big old log. And it wasn't until I was about 20 paces away that I realized that it had this crisscross pattern on it, which did not look like a log at all, and spun around just in time to see a tail of this big old python go off into the jungle.
Back up. Kemantian, here we come. How you feeling?
I'm just tired.
Yeah?
Yeah. You got a leaf in your hair.
Maybe. No? Let's take a break.
Sounds good.
What do you think, Trav?
I'm really excited about this part.
Yeah?
How come?
Because it's intense.
Intense.
Yeah.
Intense part's going up, or you like the intensity of going down?
I like the intensity of going down, because if you fall, you're going all the way down to the bottom. It's more likely to fall forward than it is backwards.
That's a fair point. All right.
Oh, watch out. That's really cool.
I lived in the Philippines a long time ago. I used to always say that I grew up there, but I actually moved there when I was 15 years old and left when I was 18. Came back later. I had about 5 years there total. I guess I feel like I grew up there because I was a child when I went and I was an adult when I came back to the U.S. Yeah.
Kemantian's right around the corner.